Guys, so we are going to DIY an Instagram landing page using Elementor. And I think this is really cool because you don't have to pay for LinkTree or Milkshake or any of those things. I think they can be good if you need to track, links and you need to do it easily. You don't want to use something like Bitly. There are a lot of free solutions where you can do the same kind of link tracking thing. But if you don't need that functionality, or you don't want to worry about setting those things up kind of individually as you add new links in, then I think this is a really good choice for you and it'll definitely save you money. And then you have more control over how it looks and functions anyway. So let's just kind of get right into it. Okay, before we do that, take that back. Um, make a really quick list of what you want to send people to on this page. I don't think it needs to be as hyper focused as deciding what calls to actions you want to put on your website, for example. I think you can just send people to a list of your best stuff. So whether that's an opt-in freebie, Facebook group, your latest YouTube video, your I don't know, your best Amazon affiliate roundup, your blog, a link to schedule a call with you, or whatever your latest offer is, or something that you're launching right now. Anyway, whatever you want to send people to on this page, write a list down. I would recommend 3 to 6 things, but you could definitely put in more. I've seen people with a lot of things in there. And then decide whether you just want the buttons going over there, or do you want to add some images? If you do, gather some images up. But you can always come back and add those later if you don't have those right now. So let's just get the basic framework of the page set up, and we can come back in and add images, or snazz it up or whatever you want to do a little bit later on. I'll show you how to do some of that stuff after we set up the basic framework. But for now, let's just get in there, get our buttons and our links going, kind of set up this basic page. So we're going to go to pages and then add new. And then, just title your page something like Instagram links or Instagram landing page, or just Instagram. I see a lot of those different URLs. If you want to see what other people are doing, I know a lot of people do have a self-hosted Instagram links page just like this. So go to, your favorite Instagram gurus profiles and see what they're doing. Some of them probably are using LinkTree, but I know a lot of them are not because they prefer to have more control over that page. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is to take the header and the footer away. And the reason I want to do that is because with Instagram, sending them over to your site is usually not the best move because there's a header full of options, there's a footer full of options, there's just too many things. And having everything laid out in a page that is literally specifically built for mobile users like this one is just so much better than having everything here. You can literally present all of these things in your header if you want to. It's just that people in mobile usually have a different intent. So that's why people usually link people to, your freebies, your offers, just your latest blog post or video or whatever it is. They're not usually set on browsing your site anyway. So you're generally not taking anything away from them by removing the header on mobile. And the way that you do that is coming over to settings and clicking on page layout and select canvas right here. That's going to remove your header and your footer. It's up to you, of course. It's just that this is supposed to be a landing page, which means they are getting what you're giving to them and nothing else. They're not being able to be distracted by anything else. So that is usually what you want for a landing page. Okay, so I'm going to create a section, and then I'm going to click on that section, edit section, go to advanced. I'm going to add some padding. I want to click on percent. When you're working with web design, usually you want to work in percentages rather than pixels. That just tends to make it a little bit more easy on you when it comes to do the responsive design. So looking at the tablet and the mobile version of this and making sure that it looks good over there. I will say that this is a page that should be built for mobile, but we want to make sure that it doesn't look like crap on your desktop either. And we're going to build it in this desktop mode because if we were to switch to mobile now, it wouldn't carry any of our design changes back over to the desktop layout. However, us working in desktop right now, it's going to kind of carry over most of those styles that we apply to the mobile layout. And then we can just go into the mobile layout, fix a few things, make sure it looks how we want it to, and then publish it. So I'm going to add some padding to the top and the bottom of this little section. And I am going to start adding my links. So your first thought might be to add buttons, and there's nothing wrong with that approach. It's just that when you do that, they'll end up being a bunch of different sizes. So if you want to say like book a call with me, read the blog, and you can keep going, and you'll notice all of these things end up being different sizes, and it just doesn't look as nice and clean as we might want it to. Let's say watch my latest video. So it's kind of all over the place, right? And if we look at the mobile view, it's the same thing. It's kind of, it doesn't look amazing. It does function. So this isn't like a bad move, but I'm going to show you how to make these look a little bit cleaner. So I'm going to leave these buttons and just add a whole new section. I'll use this as my header section. Let's come in here, edit section, advanced. I'm gonna add a little bit of padding, just not a ton. And I'm unlinking these values. If you keep them linked, it's going to change the value of all of these at once. But I don't want to do that. So I just want to add like 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom for now. And then we're going to go into this column. So we are making like faux buttons. They look like buttons, they act like buttons. They're not technically buttons, but that doesn't matter because nobody knows. So going to the style, adding a classic background and choosing the color. And then I want to shrink this down. So let's go to advanced, click on percentages over in padding, and let's add 5% padding to each side. You won't see a change yet until you add the margin. So let's do margin. Let's do 30, 30. There's nothing in the column, so that's why you don't see a change. Drag a heading into the column, and then you'll see those changes we just made. I know, kind of confusing. Click on, so this is gonna be your link. So let's say book a call. The style, and make your text look however you want it to. So I'm going to change it to something a little bit easier to read. Make it uppercase. And add some letter spacing and some line height. When you are, we don't need that much. 1.4 is usually really good. 1.4, 1.5, those are all good areas to be in. And then I think I want to add some more padding to the top of this column. So that's too much. Okay. We're going to fix this up on mobile too. So there's our button. And you are going to be able to link this to anything. Do it right here. I don't recommend doing the open in a new window. I think that's really annoying on mobile. So just keep it as a regular link. And then what you can do to make more buttons is just duplicate this. All right, let's say you want to swap these out with like different brand colors that you have. I think I have this on my links page too. I'm kind of alternating the colors. Okay. Okay, great. So we can change all of these things. Latest post. And you'll notice the width of these buttons don't change. So watch the latest video. Unless you do this, of course. To be fair, my font size is crazy. Let's do like 18. You make a style change to something and you don't want to go in and manually do that to every single one of them. just click, right click, hit copy, and then click on that thing and click paste style. Make sure to click paste style and not paste, because if you click paste, it's going to duplicate the whole thing that you copied instead of just the style. Okay, here we go. Now this looks off because I think we need some more margin. 40, 40. Maybe we don't. Let's try 35, see what that looks like. Just play with it until it looks right to you. That looks a little better. So we made this change to the column. So I'm going to copy that style and paste, move myself out of the way here, paste that style on all of those. Unfortunately, it is going to copy our color scheme too. So let me go back and change those. Change that back. All right, so we've got our links, we've got our buttons, and I think this looks a lot cleaner than kind of like the random widths for sure. Even if you have one that is a little bit longer, I think this still looks nicer because it's not like, you know, so, okay, let's go up here and add just another way to optimize this page, like add a little greeting. So say, you know, hey, Instagram, and we want a bigger font size here for sure. Add, you know, if you want to, you don't have to do any of this stuff, obviously, totally up to you, but I'm just giving you a few ideas of what you can do with this page because you have total control of this. So whatever you want to do, maybe you want to add a background color to this part. Let's do like that. I think I want to get rid of some of this bottom padding. I think it's a little bit too much. And I think I want to add a tiny bit on this top one. There we go. I like that. You can also add a picture of yourself. This is going to look crazy on desktop, but we can just edit that. So click on the image, go to advanced so that it's not like this huge image, and then add a 35% padding. If you want a little bit bigger, put 30. Then I'm going to add a little bit on the bottom too, so that pushes that down. So this is what this page is going to look like on desktop. If you don't like that amount of spacing, just come back over to these sections and trim that spacing down a little bit. Go to advanced and then just remove, you know, 1% of that padding, and do that to all of these. And the last thing that we need to do before we publish this is to check out how it looks on tablet and mobile and make sure that it doesn't look crazy. So there we go. There's the desktop version. Come over here to responsive mode, click on tablet. It looks relatively similar. On tablet, I might consider toning down the margin on these columns. So let's say like 20%. And then let's figure out the padding. So 2% top, bottom. Yeah, I think that looks good for tablet. So then copy that style and paste that there. And then since I want to avoid turning these ones green, I want to come over and do what I just did. Let's see, so we added two to the top and bottom, right? Yeah, 2. And then we changed this to 20% on each side. Now I can copy this and paste it, paste the style right there. Okay, so this is tablet. Maybe you want the image to be a bit bigger too. Those are padding. So let's see how 20% looks. Okay, I don't think that's bad for tablet. That's gonna take up pretty much the whole page right there. Especially if you add like, you know, another sentence or two. All right, and finally mobile, the most important. So as you can see, there's not that many changes that we need to do. I just think we need to add a little bit of padding to these guys. So let's fix this up. I think on the left, let's see what 20% looks like on each side. Maybe we want to do 10. There's not as much space to work with here, obviously. Okay. And then let's try 4%. I think that looks good. I'm going to copy and paste style. And then let's come over and do the same thing. So we had 4 in the top, 4 in the bottom, and then 10 on the left and 10 on the right. Okay, copy, paste style. Okay, and then me personally, I would add some padding to these sections. So just to space these buttons out a little bit. I'm going to do that right now. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, so there we go. I might have overdone it on the padding a little bit, but you can keep playing with those numbers and making it look right for you. If you want to add images to these sections, what I would recommend doing, since we've got the whole, if you add it here, it's going to look a little bit crazy. It's going to like go into the button. Just add a section on top of that, on top of each one. So just add, another one right here, and then drag your image into that section, put it right on top. Or on the bottom, whatever feels most intuitive to you. But then just go in on desktop and double check that those images aren't super crazy big. If they are, add some padding to the left and the right, and you will be able to dial them down quite a lot. So let me know if you have any questions about this. Definitely add your links. If you're using trackable links like bit.ly links or something like that, add that there instead of the direct link, and you'll be able to see on your bit.ly dashboard how many clicks you're getting over from Instagram, which is really, really cool. It's cool stuff to know for sure. You want to know what marketing channels are working and which ones are not. So I think that is valuable. So yeah, then you can hit publish and you go change your Instagram link in bio. Excuse me, oh my gosh. You go change your Instagram link in bio to this page and bam, you can come in here and change this whenever you have something new to show your people. And I think that's super exciting. Go back to the dashboard. I'm going to show you mine real quick before we sign off here. Here we go. Oh, actually, this is another one that I made trying to make this video. There's been a few attempts. Okay, yeah, here's my real one. So this is what it looks like on desktop, and then this is what it looks like on mobile. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions about this. I would be happy to answer them for you. Leave me a comment and I'll get back to you ASAP for sure.